Oh, Jai. Oh, so the purport as well?
No, just the text. We've just finished reading the text.
Okay, fine. So now at least I can join you guys for the purport and then we can discuss.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Jai.
So I'll hand over to you, Prabhuji.
To read the purport?
Or you want us, tell us how you want us to, shall we do the word-to-word translation and purport and then hand over to you? How do you want?
It's fine. I can read the purport as well. I don't mind. But if you could get somebody else to read the purport, it would be nice also for me to hear their transcendental voices.
Okay. So I'll read the translation and then Prahalad Prabhu can read the purport. So translation of text 19. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "Yes, I will tell you of my splendorous manifestations, but only of those which are prominent. O Arjuna, for my opulence is limitless." Hare Krishna. Prahalad?
Hare Krishna. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Yeah.
It is not possible to comprehend the greatness of Krishna and his opulences. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. Still, the devotees try to understand Krishna, but not on the principle that they will be able to understand Krishna fully at any specific time or in any state of life. Topics of Krishna are so relishable that they appear to the devotees as nectar. Thus, the devotees enjoy them. In discussing Krishna's opulences and his diverse energies, the pure devotees take transcendental pleasure. Therefore, they want to hear and discuss them. Krishna knows that living entities do not understand the extent of his opulences. He therefore agrees to state only the principal manifestations of his different energies. The word pradayanta, principle, is very important because we can understand only a few of the principal details of the Supreme Lord. For his features are unlimited. It is not possible to understand them all, and vibhuti, as used in this verse, refers to the opulences by which he controls the whole manifestation. In the Amara Kosha dictionary, it is stated that vibhuti indicates an exceptional opulence. The impersonalist or pantheist cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestations of his divine energies. Both in the material world and in the spiritual world, his energies are distributed in every variety of manifestation. Now, Krishna is describing what can be directly perceived by the common man. Thus, part of his variegated energy is described in this way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyade Shatarine. Hare Krishna. So thank you for the service to be able to share a thing or two, some reflections or some understanding of the nectarian words of Krishna and his pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada. Here we understand one thing. This is a common theme that Prabhupada always explains in his teachings. That we are very small, very minute, very insignificant in comparison to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Why are we in the material world? Because we thought we could be like Krishna, that we could be Krishna, that we could control and have our own and be the controllers or the proprietors of ourselves. But in order for us to become any of these things, the amount of work we have to do, toiling, suffering, and still we will never get to anything close to what Krishna is. So we're reminded of our insignificance here. Krishna is saying in this wonderful verse that only saying Padanyata Kuru Shrestha. So, oh son of the Kuru, I'm only telling you those which are principal. I can't tell you everything because you wouldn't be able to handle everything. Our intelligence and our ability to be able to hold information is very low in this age of Kali. So much so that even Srila Vyasadeva had to write the Vedas. In previous yugas, they didn't have to have written books. The consciousness of the people was so elevated that just by hearing from another personality, the knowledge was passed down and no one needed to document. But then when we come to the age of Kali, oh Krishna, our minds, it's in different yugas, the demons are in one planet, the angels are in another planet, the divine in another planet. But in the age of Kali, the demon and the divine are all within one mind. So in our one mind, to be able to hold the teachings of the Vedas, the teachings of Krishna, is very difficult. The mind is going very, very quickly with so many thoughts, so many different things. So it becomes very difficult for us to understand. And Krishna knows this. This is one way we can understand Krishna also knows us. Because he knows that our minds, actually our bodies in general, are due to 4 defects. They're guaranteed to have 4 defects. What are these defects? First defect is that we have imperfect senses. Our senses are not perfect. If we close our eyes, I can't tell you who I'm seeing on the screen because my senses are not perfect. They're very, very minute. But Krishna's senses, they're all powerful. Even Krishna can eat with his ears, his legs, and with his hands. But our first defect is that we have imperfect senses. Because we have imperfect senses, our second defect comes, which means we're prone to illusion. So we have imperfect senses, so automatically we're prone to illusion. We will never be able to see things as they are. We'll never be able to fully understand. We don't have the ability because we have imperfect senses. And because we have imperfect senses, and so we're prone to illusion, what's the next thing? We're prone to make mistakes. Even if you plan something out X, Y, Z like this, you're still prone to make a mistake. You're still prone to error. And because of that, what do we do to cover up our mistakes? We cheat. That's our 4th defect. So these are the 4 defects of a human, of being in a material body, is that you have imperfect senses. Because of your imperfect senses, you're prone to illusion. Because of you being prone to illusion, automatically you're going to make mistakes. And so that you can cover up your mistakes, you're going to cheat. Oh, on my screen, I see my spiritual father here, His Grace Mahaprasad Prabhu. Thank you for joining us, Mahaprasad Prabhu. We're very fortunate. I'm very fortunate myself. If anything, I don't feel confident to speak in front of him. Hare Krishna. But yeah, so, Krishna understands that we have defects. And so why did I even mention these 4 things? Is because the fact that we have imperfect senses, we cannot do anything about that. It's very difficult. We can't do anything. The body has already been made. The fact that we are prone to illusion, even that, we can't do anything about that. The fact that we make mistakes, even that, we can't do anything. But what can we change? Cheating. If we avoid cheating, this is the one thing that we can be able to change. Being honest. Why is this also very important? Because honesty, truthfulness, is the only pillar of Kali that's remaining. Is the only pillar of Dharma that's remaining in the age of Kali. All the other pillars are gone. But in the age of Kali, what helps us is truthfulness. And even in our Krishna consciousness, the moment we are honest about our position, the moment we become truly understanding that we cannot do anything without Krishna's mercy, then Krishna can help us. The moment you take shelter of Krishna, the moment you take shelter of the holy name, then we can be guided. So cheating is the one thing we can change. The rest we can't do anything, but cheating we can change. Because of our imperfect senses, Krishna understands this. So he presents the Bhagavad Gita in a way that can be able to make us understand the essence the cream of the Vedas. The Vedas has a wide variety. Let me see, I don't know, do I have sharing rights? If you could give me sharing rights, Mom, I could probably show you guys something. I don't know if
Yes,
it's
Prabhu.
possible.
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, you have the sharing rights.
Okay, so if you've got the sharing rights, let me show you. I can just show you something quickly. So I'm actually, at the moment, I'm doing this service, GITA Life. So I've been going through, I'm going through the GITA with a few devotees online and some new people. Actually, we had some of the people in the Sangha, I think I saw them, who joined the first session earlier on Sunday. So, you know, if you guys get a chance, or if anyone is interested, they can join the rest of the sessions. But I just want to show one slide here. So here, I don't know if you can see that clearly.
Yes, Prabhu, we can.
Yeah, so let me just see if I can.
You can increase it at the bottom.
Yeah. I want
Minus,
to.
minus plus.
Yeah, there is. Where is it? Presentation, transitional, slideshow. Yeah. So like that. I'm sure you can see that.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So here is a chart of the Vedic knowledge. We've got the Shruti scriptures, revealed absolute truth, every word unchanged eternally. So these are like the Vedas, the Rig, Yajur, Sama, Atharva Vedas, the Upa Vedas, like the Ayurvedas, etc., the Vedangas, and they split to become more detailed, the Kalpas, the Sikshas, Vyakarana, the ones that teach about all the things to do with Sanskrit pronunciation. Everything is here in the Vedangas. In the Vedas, obviously, we have the Samhitas, the Brahmanas, the Aranyakas, and the Upanishads. The Ishopanishad is one of the Upanishads that we study, which is known to be coming out of the paws of Lord Vishnu. So it's coming directly from the Lord. Then we have the Smriti scriptures composed by the sages. Wording may change from age to age. So here you've got, the ritual sutras, Srota sutras that explain yagyas that are done, the different kinds of yagyas that people will do, the Dharma sutras, the law books. Tantras, Tamasic, Rajasic, and Sattvic Tantras, all of them are there. The Pancharatras, Vaishnav worship, Puranas, we have the 18 major and the 18 minor Puranas. And then in the Itihasas, these are the histories. So the Mahabharata comes in the histories as well. The Srimad Bhagavatam, this is all coming from the histories, and these are the ones we're encouraged to study. You've got the 6 darshans, isn't it? The Vedanta, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaisheshika, Yoga, and Sankhya, very, very, broken down in much detail. Now, in the Itihas, you could be wondering, where is the Bhagavad Gita here? Someone can tell me, where's the Bhagavad Gita fitting in this chart? If someone knows, probably.
In the Itihas, Prabhuji?
Exactly. So in the Itihasas, you've got the histories. So one of the major histories is the Mahabharata. And in the Mahabharata, which has thousands of verses, I think 200,000, I'm not too sure, 45 minutes are this conversation between Krishna and Arjuna. But with understanding the teachings that are in this 45 minutes, basically you would have covered the essence of all that is here on our screen, the essence of all the Vedic literatures. Srila Vyasadeva purposefully wrote the Mahabharata, compiled the Mahabharata for people like us in this age of Kali who are prone to these defects, who find it very difficult to understand the glories of Krishna in full. We can't. And all these Vedic literatures, the essence, Lord Shiva says, is like the milk that comes out from the udder of the cow. And that milk that comes out of the udder of the cow is the Bhagavad Gita. So just by understanding the little opulences that Krishna is sharing here in the Bhagavad Gita, we can understand everything in the Shruti and the Smriti literatures. Which, yeah, just something small I wanted to share just to add some context. Krishna here says that his pure devotees, or actually Prabhupada is saying in the purport, that the pure devotees, they relish hearing, the pastimes of Krishna. Now, I don't know if you guys, probably some of you relish the same thing, but someone can tell me if they do relish. I personally find it very difficult to fully become absorbed in the teachings of Krishna, in the teachings of his pastimes. At times, our story is interesting here and there, but our Kali Yuga brain might find it very difficult to be fully absorbed. Arjuna in the previous verse says, I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. How many can relate with Arjuna? Personally, I find it very difficult, but I don't know if some of you can relate. I need to take shelter of your lotus feet so that I can also develop a taste. It's very difficult at times. Why is it difficult for us? Because we've lived our life in a particular way, and not just this life, but previous lives. We lived them in such a lifestyle that our senses drove our gratification. We were finding happiness through enjoying this body, enjoying the different avenues of this body. Up until we find the teachings of Krishna that are making us relish and enjoy pleasures, not from the body, but from the soul, by connecting with the teachings and the practices of Krishna. So if we are finding it difficult to connect with these, it's reminding us that we need to work harder to connect from the soul level, because our body is so accustomed to enjoying the senses. At times we're listening to a class, but if the speaker is not interesting, we stop listening. If we're not being given jokes, we're not being entertained, we fall asleep. There was a pastime of Srila Prabhupada. He was with his disciples and they were going through Krishna book. Mind you, Srila Prabhupada compiled Krishna book himself, having been inspired by Krishna, sitting or sleeping only for 2 to 3 hours every day, reading and translating this word for word. So Srila Prabhupada sat with his disciples reading Krishna book. All of his disciples are falling asleep. They read 1 hour, 2 hours, you're hearing people snoring. But Prabhupada is still very much attentive. So it is the point the devotees are saying, okay, it looks like everyone is falling asleep, let's stop. But Prabhupada said, no, let's carry on. I want to hear the next pastime of Vritasura. Come on. And the devotees are wondering, you're the one who wrote these books. How is it that you want to hear the same books that you've written over and over again? The difference is Prabhupada, in his purity, was always relishing the pastimes of Krishna. If we're to hear the same pastime over and over again, the mind becomes, oh, Krishna, I'd rather go do something else. Let me work on this, let me work on something else. But for the pure devotees who have perfected their reading and their chanting of the holy name and they're engaging in devotional service, they can hear the same pastime 50 times and still gather so many realizations, so much nectar from it. His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj has read the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita 50 times from start to finish. Because he's on a platform that can relish these pastimes. It reaches a point that we're not, oh, Krishna, I have to open the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, Manasi Ganga Mataji has told me I need to read the Bhagavad Gita. Oh, okay, what page do I turn? Oh, Krishna, this. Oh. It reaches a point we can't wait to open the Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna is trying to encourage us. Arjuna is here saying, I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. We're being challenged by Arjuna. To what extent are we tasting the nectar of Krishna's words? Oh. Earlier on today, we met with the devotees and we were going through this bhajan, Hari Hari Bifale. I'll just connect it to this. I think it's an important point also. And this bhajan is being is by Narottam Das Thakur. Let me see if I can find it online, and then probably it would be good for us to, look through this bhajan. It's a very, very powerful bhajan. And in this bhajan, this personality is a pure devotee. Let me see if I can find it. Where is it? Okay. I don't know if you can see that clearly.
Yes, Prabhu, we can see it.
Yeah. Can you only see one page or you're seeing 2 pages?
We are seeing from verse 3 and 4 and then the translation.
The translation. Okay, yeah. So this is the translation. So this is Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam Das Thakur was a pure devotee of Krishna. Before Narottam Das Thakur appeared on this world, the Mahaprabhu had gone to the Ganga. And in the Ganga, Mahaprabhu evoked the Ganga in one of the rivers there, evoked the Ganga and told the Ganga, I have this prema and I'm going to put this prema with you. You can keep this prema with you. And one of my personalities, his name will be Narottam. Narottam will come and take this nectar from you. When Narottam Das Thakur was born, Naru was his name before. When Naru was born, the astrologer who read Naru's pastimes, he mentioned it would be not okay for him to go to any river. Don't take him to any river or any water body. He will go mad. This was in his astrology. But obviously, as he grew up, Narottam Das Thakur, he went, took a walk, took a stroll to the river. And when he reached the river, Ganga was agitated. And then Ganga appeared before Naru. And Narottam Das Thakur received the prem that was directly deposited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he became a pure devotee. And in his mind, he thought of nothing else but Krishna. But just see the words that Narottam Das Thakur uses in this bhajan. Narottam Das Thakur says, "O Lord Hari, I have spent my life uselessly. Having obtained a human birth and having not worshipped Radha and Krishna, I have knowingly drunk poison." And this is the verse. The treasure of divine love in Goloka Vrindavan has descended as the congregational chanting of Lord Hari's holy names. Why did my attraction for that chanting never come about? Day and night, my heart burns from the fire of the poison of worldliness, and I have not taken the means to relieve it. This is a pure devotee speaking like this. He has prema, but he is saying, I have wasted my life, I have drunk poison. I cannot relish the essence of Lord Hari's holy names, congregational chanting, Hari Nam Sankirtan, Golokera Prema Dhana. Lord Krishna, who is the son of the king of Raj, became the son of Sachi, Lord Chaitanya, and Balaram became Nitai. Brajendra Nanda Jay, Sachi Sita Hoilo Stay, Balarama Hoilo Nitai. They've come. The holy name delivered all those souls who are lowly and wretched. The two sinners, Jagai and Madhai, are evidence of this. O Lord Krishna, son of Nanda, accompanied by the daughter of Vishabhanu, please be merciful to me now. Karuna karoho ei baro, Narottam Das says. O Lord, please do not push me away from your reddish lotus feet, for who is my beloved except for you? So I just find this interesting that the pure devotee is feeling as if they've wasted their life, not relishing the names of Krishna. And here we are hearing from another pure devotee, Arjuna, who's saying, I am never satisfied in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words. So what hope do we have? Us who do not have the prema just yet. I know some people here have the prema, but for some of us who do not have the prema just yet, what hope do we have? The hope is in the holy name. Golokera prema dhana harinama sankirtana. The holy name of Krishna has come so that we can be able to relish the divine pastimes of Janardana and daughter of Vishabhanu, Radharani. And so we're encouraged, even when we read such a verse, in order for us to understand Krishna, a little bit of Krishna, we have to engage intensely, very seriously, strongly, powerfully in the chanting of the holy name. The Mahamantra is our only means of perfection. And through the Mahamantra, we can be able to understand Krishna. Obviously not in full, because even Krishna himself, he can't understand himself. Krishna, when he thinks, I know who I am, more realizations come. When he thinks, this is the extent to my power, he gets something much more further than that. So if Krishna himself can't understand himself, how can we understand him fully? One devotee was saying here that the goal of Krishna consciousness is to understand that you can never understand Krishna. Because that's just how powerful he is. And so we have to take shelter of his process. Because when we chant the holy name, we're in contact one-on-one with Krishna. The holy name is Krishna appearing to us through the ears. And so if we're to chant, we can be able to understand a little bit Vibhuti, his exceptional opulence, just a little bit we can be able to understand. The senses of the individual soul are limited and do not permit him to understand the totality of Krishna's affairs. When we are hearing Garbhodakshay Vishnu, then from Garbhodakshay Vishnu expands Shirodakshay Vishnu, then from Shirodakshay Vishnu you've got Paramatma, who's in every atom. We are seeing atoms everywhere, and we're not able to see Mahavishnu. We're not able to see Vishnu. How comes? Because of our limited situation. So for us who are in such a degraded consciousness, our only means is to take our deities. Radhana Swami says that your Japamala are your walking deities. You have a deities with you, and these are your Japamala. And we have to chant with intensity, with focus, the names of Krishna. And then from there, everything else will be revealed. For those who chant with concentration, Krishna starts to purify the consciousness. Sachinandan Maharaj mentions that when we chant with focus, the vibration comes from the mouth and enters into the ears. And from the ears, if we're focused enough, the vibration travels from the ears, purifies the mind, but goes straight to the heart. And when it does that, it begins to cultivate the land that our Bhakti Lata beads will eventually start to sprout from. One Prabhupada disciple, I'm forgetting his name, very senior Prabhupada disciple, I was actually listening to his talks recently, very, very powerful personality. He mentions Bhaktivedanta Maharaj. He mentions that only from the stage of Nishta, from steady devotion, do we start growing this creep of devotion. Before all the other stages, Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivriti, all this time we're preparing the land so that this seed can sprout. We're preparing the land and we're trying to plant the seed. Now, the only way we can plant the seed is through the chanting of the holy names of Krishna. And if we chant, then even when we read these verses that are about to come in the next few shlokas, we can understand and be able to comprehend. Krishna is very merciful. He's coming to our level. He'll start to describe himself like the mountains. Back in Kenya, we have Mount Kenya. So every time you look at Mount Kenya as you're driving, you remember Krishna. Isn't it? Every time you see the sun shining, you remember Krishna. And all the descriptions, they're very, very powerful. Krishna uses ways to help us to understand him even more. He describes himself through, he says, of sacrifices, I am chanting the holy names of Krishna, Japa. That's what he says in the future verses. And that's a powerful point, because even in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says to Lord Brahma that the reason you've been able to be successful to see me is because of your sacrifice. Because me and sacrifice are the same. Krishna says that him and sacrifice are non-different. So every time when you're performing sacrifices and it's difficult, you're trying to chant. You know, some people at times in the temple room during japa, they're going, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Constantly. But if you push, you push, that pushing, that austerity is non-different from Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavatam, he says it to Lord Brahma. And here he also says, of sacrifices, I am the chanting of the holy name. So when we read such a verse, you know, we're impelled to understand that for us to be able to dive deep into our devotional service, to understand Krishna, to connect with Krishna, we need to deepen our relationship with the holy name. And also to read, because the more we read, the more this becomes relishable. I personally struggle with reading also. I find it very difficult to sit and to concentrate, but the secret is that we have to keep on trying. And when we keep on trying, Krishna sees and Krishna reciprocates. It's like with the pastime of Mother Yashoda and Krishna. Mother Yashoda binding Lord Krishna. Krishna is, running, but Mother Yashoda sees, Mother Yashoda is running after Krishna. Krishna sees that Mother Yashoda is trying very hard. So Krishna allows Mother Yashoda to catch him. Mother Yashoda is putting the rope around Krishna's body. And every time she's trying to tie it, it's always 2 inches too short. But then because she's trying very hard, Krishna sees. And so 1 inch represents Mother Yashoda's endeavor, and the other inch represents Krishna's mercy. So if we try and we endeavor, Krishna becomes the reciprocating inch. That makes us get close to him. That makes us understand him. So we're encouraged here. The impersonalists or pantheists cannot understand the exceptional opulences of the Supreme Lord, nor the manifestations of his divine energies. The atheist cannot see. At least for us, you can go into the temple, you see Shri Shri Radha Banke Bihari, you see Lord Jagannath, you see Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, and you can understand that here is someone divine. But the atheist, they look at this and they see, oh, these are dolls. They are worshiping dolls. If we at times have that vision where we can't see Krishna on the altar, then we have to strengthen our relationship with the holy name and endeavor, Krishna, please open my eyes. Let me be able to see, or at least understand you. Let me taste you a little bit. Let me not test you, let me taste you. And if I can taste you, then I'd be, enthusiastic to deepen my connection with you. But the only way we can be able to taste Krishna is if we apply the process seriously and strictly. That's why chanting is very important. Prabhupada recommended for us to chant 16 rounds every day without fail. And at times it might be easy. At times it might be very difficult. At times it might feel impossible. That if we push and we push and we push, then Krishna starts to unveil, In the Ishopanishad, he says, please clear out this effulgence that is blocking me from seeing you, my Lord. And so the only way we can clear the effulgence that is blocking us is by chanting the holy names with intensity and also engaging in devotional service and trying to gear our life towards serving Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I'll finish there. It's quite one of those type of verses which, can be spoken about so many different things. But I think we've covered the essence of this, that, for us to understand Krishna's opulences, it's impossible. So Krishna is just giving us a small speck. Pradanyata kurushesta. Son of Kuru, I'll only give you that which is principle. I will not give you the full essence. So just imagine if we are to give our lives fully to Krishna. And this, what he's giving here in the Bhagavad Gita, is just the principle. Imagine what else Krishna can reveal to us in our relationship. There's a lot more to look forward to. The journey is packed with so much excitement, so much bliss, so much juice that will never be satisfied. That every time we think we've gotten enough, more comes. In the material world, you take something you enjoy, then you get tired of it. I used to like my indi choma. So I could eat my indi choma for 20 bob, a full one, and I wouldn't eat another one. But with Krishna's words, I eat one, I want another one, I want another one, I want another one. And just when I think, okay, I'm full, another one, like this. That's the power of Krishna's words. So we're being encouraged to be in a position where we can try to understand Krishna's opulences. And that's the best way to do so, is by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And then slowly by slowly, Krishna will begin to reveal and open our eyes to the nectar of his true nature, his opulences that we are not able to see at the moment. So I'll finish there. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for explaining the essence of this text. I think it's a very important text, and you have really done justice to it by explaining it so coming down to our level. Hare Krishna. So are there any questions or comments? Till everybody's thinking of question and comments or writing in the chat, maybe I can give one comment and a question. So I'm a researcher and a part of my job is to write. So I have written a lot of papers, but after writing, I have never wanted to read them again. They are so boring. So it just shows that when you write about material things, you write and finish it, you don't get the nectar which we are experiencing. So this is my personal realization, and that I look forward to this 6 o'clock. At 5:30, I start getting panicky that I have to join, I have to read. So I think it is incredible, and it is now 1 year in our journey, or at least the Eldoret group will finish our 1 year on the 21st of May. And I'm sure everybody's had this transformation. So we are in the pupa stage, trying to become a caterpillar and then a butterfly. So that's my comment. My papers are very boring, so don't even go there. And my question is, Prabhu, so when we are doing this endeavor, we are chanting and we are saying that, okay, and we are not chanting diligently, but we are putting that 2 hours for 16 rounds every day. And then we'll get into the mindset of saying, oh, but I've given 2 hours of my time to Krishna. Krishna will surely see that I have sacrificed this. And will we not fall into a place where we won't be diligently chanting because we feel that, oh, now we'll wait for Krishna to appear and give us his mercy because we have made the sacrifice of 2 hours, yet we have not chanted diligently?
That's a very good question. Is it just a transaction? I've done my work, Krishna, now you give me the mercy. It's interesting because I was listening to a lecture by Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was saying, Krishna doesn't want anything but your love. Your love is what Krishna wants. So if you're putting in 2 hours, but you're not giving any love, then what can Krishna take? What can Krishna get? Definitely it's the holy name. The holy name is not different from Krishna. You will be purified. But if we want to make fast progress, then in that time that we're setting aside from Krishna, we attempt to inject some love into our practice. And that little love is what Krishna is somewhat going to relish. And that's what he reciprocates with. That's why he says loving exchanges. The verse, Tesham Satata Yukta, I always quote this verse. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. It says Priti Purvakam with love. You know? So it's not just about doing it. Sometimes actually one devotee was telling us, I've been in the movement 25 years and still I'm not feeling any love. I'm leaving. People have been practicing Krishna consciousness 25, 30 years. And now if you see them, they're in a bar, drinking, engaging in illicit activities. So what's the ingredient? The main thing is that Krishna is not just telling us to do this. You know, like if you worship Lord Shiva, he's easily pleased. You can do some yagya for Lord Shiva, offer. I think it's in one of the books. Shiva says, oh, you can also offer me a leaf of fruit flower and I'll accept it and I will even give you. And it's that pastime where, you know, this personality, he did austerities to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva asked him, okay, what do you want? And then he said, I want the power that whoever my hand touches, whoever's head my hand touches, their head becomes decapitated and they leave their body. And so after Lord Shiva gave him the boon, he went to touch Lord Shiva's head. And Lord Shiva is running over all these different universes. I forget the name of the pastime, of the personality. If someone knows, please pop it in the chat. Lord Shiva is running and then he runs and then Vishnu comes and sees him. And then he says to this personality, what's the problem? Who are you looking for? And he's saying, I'm looking for Lord Shiva. I need to finish Lord Shiva. And saying, Lord, you said Lord Shiva gave you a boon? I'm telling you, this boon is not working. Lord Shiva is a madman. Look at him. He has ash all over his body. He's crazy. It doesn't work. Try it on yourself. And then he touches himself and he kills himself. But yeah, so also the personalities, they can give benedictions quickly. They can reciprocate quickly. Krishna is not the same, because Krishna is not looking for a transaction. Krishna is looking for love. And when we give love, he is forced to reciprocate. You know, he is going to reciprocate, but we have to give the love. So it's not just about doing the sadhana, waking up and doing. Yes, that's a very good start. And for us who are probably doing Bhaidi sadhana bhakti, in the beginning stages, we have to force ourselves. Oh, it's 4 o'clock, I need to wake up. Oh, it's 16 rounds, I need to chant. Oh, we're going through Srimad Bhagavatam at the beginning. But the more we carry on, we get purified, and then it becomes relishable. And then our taste increases. And you reach a point also, you'll see when you're picking the bead bag, you're not just going to go Hare Krishna, but you'll meditate. Krishna, please, let me do this as an offering with love. And you close your eyes and in your heart, try to give yourself to this name like that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, that means we have to keep a check on ourselves so that we don't reach 20 years and then give up the process. So
yes,
if this association and this regular checks every 6 months or 3 months or whatever the timeline, it's a good idea to revisit whatever you are doing and seeing and having mentors who can help you with that, because otherwise you think, oh, you're doing a great job, and after 25 years you say, well, I'll just go to the bar. So,
and this is where even that aspect of truthfulness comes in, you know. And I recommend this. I think I recommended it last time as well. But journaling and you expressing your feelings honestly, at least to yourself, is important, you know. So then you can look back and see, wow, actually, if I look back at all these times, Krishna was in my life. So I can carry on, because I can clearly read and see that Krishna took care of me in these situations. Krishna has been here for me in these situations. We have to be truthful and honest. And if we're honest with ourselves and we carry on, then Krishna will carry us. And so we won't reach a point after 10 years we're leaving, because we'll be able to look back and see that actually Krishna has been in my life all through and has been taking care of me. So I have to surrender to him like this. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I think Kalpana Sheth, Kalpana Mataji had a question. Her hand was up. And then in the chat, there is the answer to our question, Bhamasura story that Prabhu.
Bhamasura. That's the name. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I only, it gets out of my head, but yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu, for sharing.
Avinash,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Avinash, Prabhu, thank you.
Kalpana Mataji, would you like to ask your question or comment? Hare Krishna Mataji, sorry to make you wait.
No problem. Hare Krishna, everybody. I just wanted to add that when you do the Maha Mantra, the power of the mantra is so great that I don't think you can miss Lord Krishna coming to you. It's not that he's going to come straight away, but with the mantra, you go on doing single pointedness. I think the fruits are there. You will definitely see the Maha Mantra is a very, very powerful mantra. That's the way I see it.
Yes.
Very
Mother,
powerful.
you said, yes, you said such a powerful point, because you said with a focused point. And that's why there's a verse in, I think, chapter 2. Vyavasayatmika buddhir eka kuru nandana. Eka,
Yes.
one fixed point. So if the fixed point is the name, definitely you will get realization. But our problem in the age of Kali is that the mind is chal everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, you're doing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Avai, what am I going to eat? Oh, did I iron my clothes? Oh, I need to do this. Oh, I need to send a message to Manasi Ganga. Oh, I haven't done this. Oh, this. And you'll notice it every time you chant the holy name.
Yes.
The mind starts. But if you have, as Mother Kalpana Mataji has said, Eka Kuru Nandana, with a fixed focus, that it's just me and the name, you will not miss Krishna.
And I'm sure everybody gets it earlier.
You show yourself first. We are not going to take you on without your video, please.
I don't have a light at the moment. That's why there's no power.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay, then you're forgiven. Kalpana is back. Let me introduce. She's an anesthetist connected with Nairobi, Aga Khan Hospital, and few others.
Jai.
Yes.
Jai. All glories to your service, Mom.
Hare Krishna.
Okay,
The thing
yeah.
about the mantra is, I'm sure everybody has thoughts and you cannot stop them immediately, but you have to learn to stop them by whenever a thought comes, just ignore it, let it pass, and you carry on with your mantra. And I'm sure
Yes.
you'll win the battle. You'll win. You'll win.
Yes. Yes. Actually, Prabhupada says, for one, people asked him, how do we know, Prabhupada, that we are advancing in our chanting? Prabhupada says, you're advancing in your chanting. Every time when your mind goes, you bring it back. You bring it back. And when you learn to always bring back your mind to the Maha Mantra when it goes, you're advancing. To the point where when you say the mantra, the mind is your friend. Krishna says the mind can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. It becomes your best friend when it's controlled under the holy name. It becomes your worst enemy when it's free to wander. So we have to cultivate and keep on pushing like that, Mother Kalpana. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Is there any other question? Bhakta Frank, Bhakta Prahalad. Usually you are beaming with questions.
Frank is on the quiet, but he should also come up. I guess this video is a bit of a problem. And then we have Lavanga there. Ian, do you know Lavanga?
Lavanga Prabhuji.
I think so, yes. I think I met Lavanga in Nairobi, no?
Yes.
So Lavanga is there. He came specifically back from Juja racing to be on your class today.
Hare
We
Krishna.
have Mahesh Patel, who's, I think, very sincere fan of you and plus, I guess, ISKCON classes. Mahesh also very interesting. He was very regular, but never attended any classes. So when I see him attending classes, I think, wow, this COVID has helped him to attend classes at least. You know,
Hare Krishna.
Mahesh Bhai is always on his video, which is very nice of him. And Bhava Mai, she's turned up after a long time. The whole family went through COVID. So glad to see her here again after a long break.
Hare
Bhava Mai.
Krishna.
From Nairobi anyway. She's also from Nairobi. Madhurupa is Nairobi, Kisumu, everywhere. Her husband also joined, which I got to know last week, Panchatattva. So Hare Krishna to all, since nobody is asking questions. I wanted to add to what Kritika, that like she said, you do your research, you write, and you don't want to read it again. Is the same experience. You read novels and you thought maybe I'll read again, but you never read again. Here, Bhagavad Gita, you read about 1,000,000 times and you still think, oh my God, when am I going to read again? Bhagavatam, Chaitanya. You're just dying and waiting to get time to read them again and again and again. I listened to Srila Prabhupada's lecture, one lecture, I think I can go on hearing and hearing and you never get satiated. That was my own documented proof to myself, this is spiritual. Because you don't get bored and fed up. You know, the same prayer, Mangalarti, the same Guru Puja, the same Bhagavad Gita, the same Bhagavatam, same evening Aarti, but till date you feel bad when you miss, but you feel happy when you're there. So that just shows it's spiritual, ever increasing.
That's it. Thank you, Mom, for sharing that exactly. And that's the thing. The engagements in the material body, they're very limited. They don't give us what we're looking for. Because our nature is an andamayo bhyasat, we're always looking for more pleasure, more pleasure. And it's funny that the practices of Krishna consciousness, we're doing the same thing over and over again, but still getting more taste, still getting more pleasure. We're chanting the same 16 rounds every single day, still getting more pleasure. Going for the same Guru Puja, same, morning program. And that's the power of Krishna consciousness. Because it's on a transcendental plane, we can never get tired. We can never get tired of it. So thank you, Mom, for sharing that. That's very powerful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We have still 4 minutes. Any questions or comments? We have this class every day at the same time on the same link. Prabhuji comes every Tuesdays. He'll be there next week as well. But we have different mentors every day. So kindly join if you have the time every day at the same time. Okay, if there are no more questions or comments, I'll hand over to Parth Prabhuji.
Can I also acknowledge Neha from Eldoret? She's also been very regular of late attending the Zoom classes. So we are happy that she's with us.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for this is really a wonderful class, and you explained very well the Krishna's mercy. This opulence is numerous, is unlimited. What are imperfect senses? We cannot calculate that one. It is beyond of our capacity. But when we are engaged in Krishna consciousness by chanting process and devotional service, we can able to understand this some of the opulence, some of the vibhuti, the majestic power of a Krishna. It's a very nice way to explain. Also in the same chapter 10, text number 9, Machita Madgata Prana, Bodhayanta Parasparam, Kathantas Chamam Nityam, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Like we are telling, the devotee, who is the pure devotee, who is in the elevated stage, they are releasing every time, all the time, like it. You told the Maharaj wrote already 50 times each granthas. How can this one happen? And why not for us? Because we are not getting that label. But this is the process. If you are getting, if you are continuing this one, the chanting process and devotional service, the association, then automatically it will be, the unearth will be removed from our heart and mind. Then the Harinam is release our heart, the Krishna's prem, the Krishna's mercy, and everything is open our heart and mind. Then we can release the pastime of a Krishna. Then we can go ahead and we can really, at that time, we think, oh, it is reading 50 times, so it is more or less. I can read more. Every day, that is the thing. So thank you very much, Prabhuji. It's a very nice class.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. So I request everyone, we're supposed to conclude this session now. So I request everyone, please unmute yourself and chant Hare Krishna mantra once for the glorification of a grace, Yan Prabhuji. Please join. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Patitanam Bhavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah.
Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Yan Prabhu ki jai.
Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.